All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome to the SHIPIT Nation Week 7 Cash Game Show. We're here to break down the cash game slate, kind of develop that player pool, and then obviously head on over to SHIPITNation.com where we'll post 4 cores for DraftKings and FanDuel. As always, joined by my guy, Title, grinding those cash game streets, multiple sports, and especially heavy in during NFL season. Went through this pretty quickly, just like going through and seeing it. It does seem like a pretty difficult week for cash. Like there's not standout value at this point. A lot can change. I mean, Friday afternoon, Friday evenings, when we start to get a lot of these injury reports, we get additional information, get some quotes from coaches. But as it stands right now, it seems relatively difficult. I'd say one of the more difficult weeks. And if you are someone that is grinding cash, that probably is music to your ears. So, Title, give me your initial thoughts and anything else here heading into week 7.
Yeah, 10 games, which is what we've had recently, 11 on FanDuel because since the bye week started, so nothing changed there. 3 games only in the afternoon. Doesn't affect main slate as much. I mean, late swap, of course, always important, but the afternoon slate, I always enjoy 4 games. In terms of like totals on the slate, I mean, there's a couple big boys out there. Washington Panthers sitting at about 51, Falcons, Seattle up there, Minnesota and the Lions up there. I mean, there's a lot of high totals on this slate, which is nice. Injury news always very important. Like right before we came on, Devin Singletary will play, but Tyrone Tracy will get a good amount of work. We're going to see a lot of news like that. We always do, especially as the year goes on. From Friday afternoon to Saturday to Sunday morning, we will get important news that'll probably dictate and change some things on the slate. So, yeah, right now, though, I'm with you. It's relatively difficult on both sides. I mean, a couple strong plays here and there, like Drake London still feels a little underpriced on DraftKings. Chuba Hubbard, we did get Jonathan Brooks. The rookie, he will be coming back pretty soon. Not week 7, though, so without him, Chuba has a great role in a big total. So a couple spots, I think, underpriced. But, yeah, other than that, value, very, very difficult. We talked a little pre-show. Not much sticking out there, so I think it's more mid-tier build than it is stars and scrubs, at least as of now.
Yeah, the backup running back stuff's been interesting just in general because it seems like all these backup dudes come in and they just like crush the Buffalo guy the other night. The Tyrone, what's the last name?
Tyrone Tracy, Ray
David,
on Tucker, all these dudes.
Yeah, coming in and crushing. So, I mean, the case for not paying, I mean, this is obviously not really relative to cash games this week, but the case to not paying running backs in the NFL, the backup running backs are making a strong case for that because they just come in and crush. Obviously, it's more of a system position. So do us that favor, though, before we get started, hit the like, hit the subscribe, helps us out a lot. We're going to go through, kind of switch the format a couple weeks ago. I just think this format makes a little more sense where we're going to cover all of DraftKings, walk through each position, then we'll go over and have the same conversation on FanDuel. I have the Shiptimizer up. This is our optimizer over at SHIPITNation.com, the most affordable content and optimizer combo package in the industry by far. But I have the quarterback position up. I have it sorted by just projected points. As you can see, Jaden Daniels at the top, very, very high floor. He's been great. Jalen Hurts, their offense has looked a little bit rough, but he does have his weapons back at 73. We have Anthony Richardson, with a pretty high number. I'd say probably higher than the industry. So he's showing up towards the top of the list. I think this is a pretty aggressive number, and I'll be curious to get your take on him for cash. But if you do believe in this projection, he, I guess, maybe could be the cash guy. I don't necessarily love it. We got Burrow, we have Stroud, we have Josh Allen. Let's sort by value, see if anything stands out. I'm assuming, Richardson's going to be way at the top. Don't play Deshaun Watson. He's showing up nice. Deshaun Watson freaking sucks. 4,900 though, I guess, is super cheap, and I don't know. Maybe I end up taking that back at some point.
No.
Not taking that one back, right?
Don't play his ass.
Yeah. Daniel Jones, Andy Dalton, Geno Smith at 50. That game's nice. It's like a 52 total 3-point spread. Maybe it's Geno. I don't know. I know the way you like to do things, and it's very hard at this point to identify who the cash game quarterback is. I'm assuming if you had to build a cash lineup right now, this is probably a position you come back and fill out last would be my guess. Is that correct?
That is correct. And it's not like – so I think there's multiple options, but I think it's more so right now there's 3 that stand out to me. Daniel's all the way up. Let me start with Richardson first with our projection. He is probably the hardest guy to project.
Yeah.
And probably almost in the NFL. I mean, his floor is as low as it gets. His ceiling is as high as it gets. Now, that's not something we love in cash games. A really low floor, yeah, you love a high ceiling, but when he gets you 6 points, you're pretty much dead. I mean, freaking Dak Prescott last week, I saw lay the house on the same team. I mean, made a little bit of money in cash games, but absolutely Dak should have been a way, way better night. Richardson can go out there and get you 4 DK points any single game. I still think they should be rolling out Flacco, but moral of the story, really hard to project because his range of outcomes, his tail outcomes are so wide, not something you love in cash. Daniels at 7-6. I mean, dude, stud. Panthers are as bad as it gets. Highest total on the slate. If I can get Jaden Daniels, I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
Assume the longer the week goes on, like the more value we do get to make it possible. Again, if that's not the case, though, I think you're going all the way to Sam Darnold next. Great game environment. No Aiden Hutchinson, obviously, for the Lions. Big loss for you guys. Really sad for the man. This is a great football player, but that is a huge loss on that defense. I mean, they can stop the run. If they can't get to the passer as much, their secondary is just the pass funnel will be even more so on the Lions. So I'm going to be looking to pick on the Lions in the secondary through the passing attack moving forward. Great spot to start it off with Sam Darnold at 62, with Jett, with Addison.
You prefer him over Cousins at 63?
I do.
Okay. Yeah.
I've seen enough from Sam Darnold, and it's close. I think it is pretty close. But especially when we get there, though, like I'm probably going to be playing Drake London. There's a couple other Falcons that are fine. I don't think I'm going to – I can't get the money for Jets. Maybe I can, actually. We'll get there. Right now, I do prefer the Vikings a little bit. I look at that Hutchinson loss as very, very important. But I think Cousins is fine if you feel confident about that. I wouldn't argue with that. Geno's the other guy, like the other side of the game with the 400 savings from Darnold is probably where I'd go. If I can't fit Darnold, I need the 400. If I can't get all the way up to Jaden Daniels, man, Seahawks just throw the football a ton. Great game environment, again, right in the dome. So if you like Cousins more than Darnold, there's no arguments there. That's kind of my gut, just thinking that. And outside of that, I don't think we need to go too cheap. If we did, no, I'm not even going to say a name. I think it's Jaden Daniels. I think it's Kirk or Darnold. I'll throw them in there because the more I'm thinking about it, those dudes are the same guys. They're playing in the dome, high totals, no rushing outside, 300-yard plot. It's really, really similar. So Daniels, Kirk, Darnold, Geno, I think you're good from there. I would love to get Jaden Daniels if I can, but he's way up there.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel a little bit better about Geno than I did coming into the show and just pulling it up here. I mean, he's been over 17.5 fantasy points in 5 out of 6 games. And his one stinker was against Miami, and I think they blew them the hell out, right? It was 24-3. It wasn't close. Yeah. And he had 13 fantasy points, probably just didn't need to do anything. So in competitive games, floor of 17.5 this year, kind of like that.
They throw a ton. They throw the most NFL, 52 pass attempts, 40, 56, 34, 44, 20. Give me a guy that's dropping back that much.
Yeah, so a few guys, different price points. It's really going to depend on what value essentially we get as the week goes on. There are some injuries. Flipping over to the running back position, I'm going to sort it by projected points. A few injury notes definitely at this position, which we need to wait and see on, would be Mason against the Chiefs, 76. But the problem is, even if Mason is out, The dude is the
6,600,
Garendo.
Isaac Garendo.
Yeah, they did a great job. Got him right up there. I mean, he looked very good. I mean, obviously it was all on one run, a 76-yard run, but they got him all the way up there. I mean, so 76, I mean, you're still spending some money there. Jonathan Taylor did not practice today, assuming he's out. That would leave Trey Sermon, who is also questionable, so that doesn't help a ton. He is 5,500. He was limited practice yesterday. So the Colts running back situation is definitely one to monitor the next couple days. Maybe we get a little more information, before then. It sounds like Aaron Jones is playing, and I think that's pretty significant for the position. He practiced limited yesterday, but there was a report that he should be good to go, 6,500 in that big totaled game. We have Brian Robinson Jr. listed as questionable Friday. So today the coach said he's trending in the right direction. So going to probably assume he's in. And then the Giants situation obviously got much more dicey. I don't think you can play either of those guys with Singletary back. And they said Tyrone Tracy will also be involved. He has earned a spot. So there's news at this position in terms of guys that are in a good spot, playable. Kyron Williams, they're at home. This Raiders team is just dead, done. Like they're not in it to win it anymore. He's the highest projected guy. If you can get him in, I'd love to do it. Saquon at 82 is the next highest projected. Then there is a little drop, so I'm going to go sort by value here. So we're still liking Tony Pollard. Tough spot though. On the road, 9-point underdogs. Our projections are probably pretty aggressive on him. I don't think I necessarily love him. We like Brian Robinson Jr. at 64. I'd definitely go, I think, Robinson Jr. over Pollard if deciding. You talked about Chuba Hubbard in that same game. Bijan at 71 coming off the 2-touchdown game. But the one thing, again, that I'll say about this position, nothing super cheap, like mid sixes and above, which we've had 5K running backs that have been solid basically every single week this season, which makes roster construction a little bit easier. Maybe we get some value at wide receiver. I've looked ahead. I don't see anything super valuable that stands out. So can you get to Kyron Williams? Are you playing a bunch of these 6K guys? What are your initial thoughts here at the position?
So we'll look ahead a little bit. I do think we're saving at tight end more than likely because what you're saying, and I want Daniels, but maybe you do have to go with Geno or something like that because of this running back position. I just don't see value on the slate right now. And there's really quality guys in that 6 and 7K range. I guess I'll start with Chuba because I mentioned him. Washington's defense awful. No Jonathan Brooks again. Miles Sanders obviously gets some work, but man, Chuba's been a beast. Really, really high total, 30, 25, 18, 15 the past 4 weeks, 23, 17, 22, 26 touches, almost at the 100-yard bonus every game. He's been good, high total, bad defense, and it makes me feel even better that Jonathan Brooks will be coming back pretty soon. So, why not just give Chuba almost all the work? When Brooks comes back, they'll be splitting and easing the rookie in. So that price stands out very much. Aaron Jones is the same price at 6.5. Now, a little tougher. Again, great game environment. I always love Aaron Jones. Coming off an injury, though, missed last week. He's always beat up. And then we're looking at the Stone right here. Again, big total in this one, Lions-Vikings. I just talked about how the Lions are a pass funnel. We have them C on the Stone, A for rushing defense. Aaron Jones is more than just a running back, a catch out of the backfield, screen. So still a good price there. But again, I do prefer attacking through the air. If someone says, can you play Darnold and Jones together? Of course you can. It's cash games. You only got to beat 50% of the field. And 50-50s, double ups 47% or whatever it may be. Tony Pollard's 200 cheaper. Yeah, the Bills, we got them right now on the Stone as a C for run defense. That defense is beat up a little bit. Like you said, though, 9-point dogs, not great. Another guy, though, that can catch some passes out of the backfield. At the end of the day, we're just not working with great value on this slate. So, yeah, I would much rather Bijan at 7-1. Another great game environment. I think the story of the slate, or at this position, what I'm saying, Kyron, high team total, Raiders are cheeks. If you can fit them, highest projected on the slate, great. If you can't, you drop down a little bit to guys in good game environments. Bijan and Kenneth Walker, 2 workhorse running backs, 7.1K, 7.3K, both favored to score a touchdown, very solid. You can't fit them or you only can fit one, Chuba, Aaron Jones, Tony Pollard. If we don't have any news right now, if the slate locked in 10 minutes, those are the only guys I'd be considering.
Yeah, great breakdown. I think, definitely establishes that, initial player pool. Again, we got to see the news. We got to see what sort of money we have to deal with. But those 5-6 guys, I think, are a very good starting point. But, as we start to build this player pool, we're probably starting to realize that Jaden Daniels probably not likely candidate to be the cash game quarterback. Might be able to get something here in the next couple of days that can make it all work. But nothing as of now stands out as extreme value. Heading over
I'll
to
say this quick.
Yeah.
I do think cash games, I want to wait at least another week, I think. Like, it looks like Chase Brown looked a million times better than Zach Moss. I mean, everything about it. And I expect Chase Brown to take over the starting role. But to what extent? Is it going to be 55-45, 60-40? Is it game script dependent? They're playing Cleveland. I think Cleveland is absolutely buns. I think since he can get out to a lead, usually Zach Moss is more your bruising back. So tournaments for sure. In cash games, I think I want to wait a little bit because 5'9". Pollard's only 400 more. Jones and Chuba 600 more. And again, like these Kyron, Bijan, like the guys I mentioned, they all have 25, 30-point upside with pretty high floors, in my opinion. The floor on Chase Brown's a little lower. So again, I think it's good. I think it's solid in tournaments, and I like what I saw last week, but I'm going to take a wait and see, at least in cash games.
Yeah, and you're not getting much of a discount. Still, he's effective. He's been effective, but still only like 12 touches last week. He's good. He's definitely good. When we get to the upper teens consistently with in regards to touches, I think maybe more of a cash game play. Tournaments for sure I'm going to play as that.
You read this, though? That's our man, D-Gen, one of a kind, awesome guy is right. I mean, you tune into his shows, you will be laughing, entertained, and locked in the whole time. So appreciate that.
Every week through swing season, he'll continue to put those videos. I mean, the most talented guy in the industry for sure. Very sharp, very knowledgeable, and makes it entertaining. Does a very, very, very good job. Very talented. Wide receiver position, I have it sorted by projected points. At the top, we see Chase, we see Justin Jefferson, we got Diggs, AJ Brown, Neighbors, and then Tank Dell. You're spending a premium now this week. If you want Jamar Chase, 8,400. If you want Justin Jefferson, 85. Stephon Diggs, 77. AJ Brown had the good game last week, 8K. Neighbors is back, 7,500. Might be tough to get up there. So let's see. Do we have anything standing out in regards to value? You did mention definitely
the top two Cleveland guys.
No thanks. No thanks. You did mention a name though that is, I think, very interesting and probably still a little underpriced, and that's Drake London, 6,900. Finally seeing that big time connection with Kirk Cousins. It's paying off in a pretty big way. You look at the most recent games. Week 1 was a bust, and 17, 18, had a 12.5-point game, 36, 19. The targets are massive, though. 9, 12, 13, 10. I think he's a phenomenal play. I mean, he could easily be the highest scoring wide receiver this week, and he's only 6,900. We have Mooney up here, 5,600. Good price tag for him. One value name, and outside of those Cleveland guys, I'm not talking about the Cleveland guys. I don't want to play.
They are in play, though. They are
without Amari Cooper. Yeah, it's
gross, though.
Elijah Moore, 32. Jerry Jeudy. I definitely, if you are playing a Browns guy in cash, just save the extra 16 and just roll the dice with Elijah Moore at 32. Which, I mean, maybe we need it. And again, maybe it's one of those plays where it doesn't matter like what he does. It might get us a couple upgrades or get us from a cheap quarterback up to Jaden Daniels. So it looks gross, but maybe I reverse course. The one that's interesting to me, though, is definitely Juju at 4K. And, going into that showdown game a couple weeks ago, we broke it down pretty well, and we thought it would be either him or Watson that kind of step up and have a good connection with Patrick Mahomes, and it was Juju, and he had a monster game. He looked great. 8 targets, brought in 7 of them for 130. If you are going to take a chance on a cheap wide receiver, you could do worse than having Patrick Mahomes being the one that's throwing them the football. So don't mind him at the 4K price tag. Drake London definitely stands out. And then to me, there's probably a lot of different ways you go depending on what you do at quarterback and that sort of thing. So thoughts here. And Deontay Johnson too, 66. Wanted to throw that one in there. So go ahead.
Yeah, I think Deontay got a late Q tag. Again, I still think he'll play. He was questionable
He had the Q tag and returned to practice yesterday, but I think they did officially keep that tag on him.
Cool. Yeah, he should play. He was Q last week as well. Juju midweek, like Ross said, I still think he plays as well. Just got alert. JT will be out. Sermon's price is up on DK, a little more in play on FanDuel. We'll get there when we talk FanDuel running back, and then Buccaneers, just notes or underdog notifications are coming in. They're going to give Tucker, White, and Bucky Irving all early series and then ride the hot hand from there. So GG's on the Buccaneers running backs for the rest of the year.
They're not even on the slate, are they?
No, I don't know. They're not.
Yeah.
But
it is game. It is game over though, like you said.
Just in general, yeah. Yeah. Wait. When do they? When do they?
Oh, they could be off.
Are they in a bye?
Yeah, I think bye.
Oh, they're Monday night. Okay, there's two Mondays.
Two games. Nice.
I'm going to the Cardinals game. I forgot that Bucks Ravens game. Yeah, that'll be good. Nice. Back to receiver. Sort it by how we have it. I think all of these top guys are definitely the ones in play. What I will say is, man, we are really bullish on that Jamar Chase projection. I mean, I don't hate it. He's one of the best receivers in football, but no way am I going to play Jamar Chase over Justin Jefferson this week if I do spend up in cash. Like, obviously, I'm a little biased with Jefferson, but the total's almost 10 points higher in a dome. I already like some Sam Darnold. So out of all those guys, Moore and Judy in play. No Amari Cooper, awful value. It's gross. It absolutely is gross, but they should throw the ball a lot because I expect them to be behind. I do agree. I prefer Moore to Judy just because of the savings. Mooney, Drake London. These dudes are always on. I'll add Ray McLeod in that as well. Like, all they play is 11 personnel. They're always on the field. 50-point total. Kirk Cousins throws it a ton. Mooney, Ray McLeod, Drake London, still mispriced. Not like I'm going to play all three. They're not as mispriced as they were last week, but I think all in play. Drake London stands out the most. Mooney, Ray in play. Tank Dell and Diggs. We saw it without Nico Collins last week. Both of them solid games. Green Bay's good, and I think Green Bay does push Texans to have to throw the ball as well. So I do like a little tank. Deontay Johnson, I mean, dude is just a target freak with Andy Dalton. Jaden Daniels will move the ball in the Panthers. They will force Andy Dalton to drop back a lot. Not a good defense. I think Deontay's very strong. Deontay Chuba, I played a bunch of them. You can definitely play them together. Eat most of the work. Talked about Diggs. Juju, absolutely agree with what you said. 8 targets for 4K on a slate with no value. Man, what a game we got there. Niners, Chiefs in the afternoon too. Absolutely good with that. Jefferson's going to go for 30 this week. If I can fit him, I would love it. It's up there though. Any other names? Jacoby Myers. No Devontae. I'm pumped. Devontae the Diva goes to the Diva and Rodgers. I'm pumped to see the reconnection. Full workload for him too. That hammy magically healed, but 5.4K.
That's the best part about it. All of a sudden he's healthy.
Yeah, we all knew that. Then he was at Rodgers' house. I don't know if you saw. He was on the McAfee show.
Yeah,
Devontae was in the background. So
now I just need Max Crosby to do the same thing. Come to Detroit and everything.
Sounds like he's ready to get out of there.
He's ready to bounce too.
Yeah, he's ready to bounce. But Jacoby Myers, 5.4K, probably will be trailing. It's not fun to play anyone.
He's questionable. He's officially questionable. I assume he probably plays.
It's not him.
He didn't practice yesterday, so.
If it's not him, then it's what? Trey Tucker, this Christian Wilkerson guy?
What did that other guy do? DJ Turner, did he end up doing anything? 4 targets, 2 for 37, shit. 34. Yeah, it's just a dump.
Tucker had 0. Yeah, if he's out, though, man, would you rather Tucker, Turner, and this Wilkerson guy, or would you rather Elijah Moore and, Judy?
I guess I'd probably just take my chances on Elijah Moore, I guess, at 32. I don't know. It's gross. I mean, it is gross. Definitely. I don't know. After talking through this, I think in cash, Juju might just be a lock in cash, to be honest with you. Like,
Yeah, if you feel way better with Juju than those guys, yeah.
Yeah, I think you just need that salary. I feel much better about him. Probably a competitive game for sure. I don't know. I think he probably could help make some things work. I don't know. It's wide open though. I mean, it definitely is wide open. Is there any other? I guess another thing for the Rams situation is Cooper Kupp potentially coming back, and this Whittington guy goes away as another potential value. So definitely news to monitor here.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm expecting Cooper Kupp to play. I mean, the videos I've seen that they've been rolling out, they're not going to rush him back by any means, but it looks like he's ready to rock. So
yeah,
we'll get to FanDuel, Tim D. That Croker dude is in play a little bit, and he would be in play on DraftKings too if Deontay was out. But we're expecting Devontae to play, and this made me laugh. Hey, more than Lil Cheeks as well.
No, Little Cheeks got some points last night.
He got more than 3.8.
No, I don't know if it's more than 3.8, but he got some points. And
one catch I know for sure.
And he got pass interfered in the end zone, and they didn't call it. I mean, the guy just runs. He runs so poorly. Runs so poorly. Tight end. Probably going cheap, like you said. We'll probably have to go cheap. I mean, if spending, it's probably Bowers, but definitely don't need to spend. I guess you could go Kelsey, but we need the savings here. We have, let's see, let me pull it up. We have Bowers as the top projected guy, 15, then Kelsey, then Kittle. Probably tough to get there. Sort by value, we have Bowers, Calcaterra. So we like going really, really cheap, potentially. Theo Johnson, who I don't mind, he's out there a ton. Theo Johnson, 28. Njoku, Schultz, Ertz at 39, Parkinson at 38. Probably have to go cheap though. And I don't know, do any of these cheap? Are you going super cheap or in this lower 2K or upper 2K range, or just kind of trying to stay in the 3K? I don't know. It seems pretty tough.
It is tough. And I want people in YouTube chat. I listened to my MMA show a little yesterday. My mic, I want to make sure my volume and gain and stuff is good. So let me know in chat how my mic sounds and if I need to adjust anything. I try to do something a little bit.
And I made it clear on the show about Lil Jordan. Like I said, he was my least favorite wide receiver. I think at the end of this, it's turned into a bit now. Like it's turned into a bit talking point. I had 3%. I think Lil Jordan in my
3% too much.
Exactly. It turned out to be true.
I mean, I would love if I could get Brock Bowers at 5'8". Like everything we said about no Devontae and these Trey Tucker, Turner and stuff. Bowers is the biggest benefit. I mean, the dude's a freaking monster. Top 5 tight end, could be top 3 tight end. The problem is I'm not sure I'm going to have 5.8K. Going down a little bit. Someone said Kyle Pitts. He's in play. Thank you. My mic's good. He's in play at 4 or 5.
If you got it.
Man, it's tough. Like, it's a great game environment. I already like London, some Mooney, Ray. He's in play. It's a great game environment.
Did we know, was Tajee Spears supposed to play this week? Or no? Because they just ruled him out. He just got ruled out, so he was questioned.
Oh, no, he wasn't. He wasn't supposed to play.
It remains he was questionable. They officially ruled him out. I think that's definitely pretty significant. I mean, we talked about Pollard a little bit. Now he's going to get the full workload. I'd assume.
Yeah, he will.
So, he's officially out. So Tony Pollard definitely looks like a better play.
Cleveland's got absolutely nobody. Tight end, back to tight end. Yeah, Pollard, phenomenal play for sure. Hold on. So Bowers, Pitts, Njoku, another benefit. Like no Amari Cooper, Njoku gets a huge benefit there, and he's been Deshaun's by far his favorite targets. In the middle of the field, still had 7 targets last game, 5 catches, still didn't do great, but no one with Deshaun Watson does great. I'm fine there. I think Parkinson's fine at 3.8K, and then the Calcaterra stuff I think is interesting. He looked good, because Dallas Goedert, I don't expect him to play.
Yeah,
3.2K. He actually, when he catches the ball, he moves upfield. I think Alcantara at 3.2K is fine. I don't know about these Kelsey save his tight end plays.
I mean, I just want to tell you, it's definitely safe. Like if you have a lineup where you have 6,300 for tight end, sure, roll with Kelsey. But we're anticipating not having 6,300 at tight end to play Kelsey based on the other positions.
You really play 96% cash contests. I might even be at like 98% in cash, low five figures, and I'd probably play like 1,500 in tournaments a week. So I don't know the math, but yeah, way more cash.
Yeah, Calcaterra 4 for 4, 4 targets, 4 receptions, 67 yards. Like if I could sign up right now for 10 fantasy points from Calcaterra, I am locking that shit in. So yeah, I'm definitely in on Calcaterra. I think a little bit more than I thought I would be.
Yeah, I think that's my favorite cheapie. Like I don't like. Do I want the Sanders guy at 2.9, Munt at 2.8 when I can pay a little more for Calcaterra? I think he'd be the cheapest. I think tight end's tough though.
I'm good with Theo Johnson too. I mean, Neighbors is coming back. It might hurt him a little bit, but five targets 2 weeks ago, 5 for 48, 3 targets last week, 3 for 30. Like if I can get 8 from one of these cheap guys, like I'm taking it. Like I think Theo can get 8.
Yeah, well, this is an interesting point. When you do lack value, double tight end is what comes in play because their floor or the pricing goes lower than any of them at 2,500, and usually, like at least you can find starting tight ends that are on the field a good amount that are cheaper than the receivers that are like, I guess like Elijah Moore or Calcaterra, stuff like that. When you decide, or if you want to go all the way down to the Sanders, the Munts, you can't find receivers under 3K. So you expect some value to open up, but it's in play.
Schultz 2 targets last week. I mean, it was 4 for something, but 8 targets. In tournaments, my ass is definitely playing a lot of Schultz. I've been trying all season. Like when I try all season, it doesn't work. I'm not giving up, so I will continue to play him. But 8 targets for 4,200. I'm interested.
Yeah. Would you last thing on tight end, because I think we covered well, him or Njoku if you had to pick?
Schultz.
I don't even hate Ertz too at 3.9.
Ertz, I'm fine with. I'd be fine.
He's the guy I keep playing, but he keeps getting targets. And he fell at the 1 yard line, that bum.
Yeah, it's been a tough position all season long, not only in cash games, but tournaments as well. It's been just a very difficult position to get right. So a lot of news still to come. Obviously, we're going to flip over to FanDuel. Same conversation. We'll go all the way through. Subscribe on the video helps us out a ton. Quarterback over on FanDuel. I just went ahead and sorted it by.
Their pricing's so much better. Maybe I just keep getting dusted because of that. But it's so much better.
It's been good. And a lot of times you do have the ability to kind of pay up a little bit more at quarterback. Jaden Daniels 91, Hurts 85. We already covered the Richardson thing. You're going to find a wide range of projections on Richardson. I mean, like you said, it's very hard to project him. Like last year when he was healthy, which it wasn't for what did he get hurt like week 2 or something. Like he was a guy that we thought would be a fantasy asset. They're playing so slow, the Colts. That's the main problem here. Like they're just not getting a lot of plays. We have him with a strong projection. Obviously, he's going to show up as the best value when we sort by value, but definitely he's not a guy that you have to play, obviously, this week. Got Burrow, Josh Allen at 92, which, I mean, Josh Allen, he's legit. Stroud, 84, Love, 87. And then you get in the 7K range. Darnold, 7,500. Kirk Cousins, 72. That stands out as pretty nice to me. Cousins at 72. Let me sort by value. It's Richardson, Hurts, Aaron Rodgers, because that Sunday night game is on this slate. Kirk Cousins, Daniel Jones at 7K has the rushing upside. Man, if I can't get up to like the Jaden Daniels or Hurts, like Kirk Cousins, I like at 72.
Yeah, and last thing to note on Richardson, week 1, the dude had 9 completions and put up 27 DK points. Yeah. Like that just shows. And then 12, 7, 5. And I think he got hurt in maybe one of them. But you 5 and 27 on 9 completions. Really hard to project them. I think it's really similar to DraftKings. If you got the money for Daniels at 9-1, you play him. I mean, he's just an absolute beast. If you don't, you save at least 1,500. Geno 7.6, Sam Darnold 7.5, Kirk Cousins 7.2. Call it a day.
Yep.
Pick on the good high team total or high game environments. all of those games that I just mentioned up there in the 50s.
Yeah, we have a lot of them too. Like, again, it was a slow start, and then you saw it was like after week 3. It was like Monday Night Football, whatever that was. I think it was the end of week 3 where we saw scoring in those 2 Monday Night Football games, and it was like something flipped, and everyone's now scoring points. We're starting to see the big totals, which is refreshing for sure.
Yes.
Running back conversation, Kyron Williams at 86. If you have the money, I think it's definitely solid. We just got the news Tajee Spears officially out. Tony Pollard at 71 is nice. I probably like him a little bit more over here on FanDuel than on DraftKings. The 71 is a very solid price tag. Talked about Chuba Hubbard, 7,400, great price tag. Kenneth Walker, 75, good with that. Breece Hall, 76. Again, that Sunday night game continues to stay on the FanDuel slate. 76 for him, I think, is a very fair price tag. And we kind of predicted it when we did the Showdown show, where under the new coaching, we thought it would be more of a shift back to him, and he had a much bigger workload in that game. And I'd assume it's going to continue here moving forward. So 76, I think, is very nice for him. Josh Jacobs at 73. So for me, it's, if you can make Kyron Williams work, it's probably Kyron and then 2 of those 7K guys. If you can't make Kyron Williams work, I think 3 of these 7K guys probably fine. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And the thing on Breece, man, I mean, getting Hackett out of there, their play calling was just a billion times better. Got the ball out fast, play action, screens. I mean, just a huge benefit. And Devontae coming to the Jets, that's good for Breece Hall. The box can't be stacked as much. You have another weapon out there, another guy you have to focus on. I expect that offense. And I mean, Rodgers is happy. Probably wasn't happy earlier in the year. When he's happy, it's good for your team. So yeah, I think
no excuses now if this doesn't work.
No, never excuses.
No one else to blame. Exactly.
Yeah, no, exactly. He will make these. I mean, yeah, definitely not a perfect guy at all.
One more thing I wanted to add. We talked about the Guerrero dude on DK where they got the price right. On FanDuel, he's only 6K. So if Mason does sit, we have a 6K punt there available as well.
Yes, good call on that. And like you said, I mean, any running back in a Shanahan offense, especially with the Niners and the talent they have around, plug and play at running back. I mean, that is the nut spot to be a starting running back in a Shanahan offense. So definitely would be in play at 6K. Sermon's also right there. So I guess I'll throw it to you on this. There's no JT this week. Just saying Mason is out. And again, we're just saying that. We don't know for sure. Because Sermon, if he's in, Sermon's the only guy that stands out in anywhere in the 5K, even low 6K range as value. Who would you prefer?
Between Sermon and
Guerrero, assuming
Mason's out. I just trust the Niners offense a little bit more, so I'll go Guerrero.
Yep, makes sense.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's very similar to DraftKings. I mean, you're playing the best running back plays. It's Kyron at 8.6. We don't really have value. If you can get Kyron, great. If you can't, Kenneth Walker. We talked about Breece. Kenneth Walker's too cheap at 7.5 in a great game. Chuba's in a great spot in a great game. Aaron Jones in a great game at 7.2. Tony Pollard without Tajee Spears against some mediocre to pretty bad. Again, we have Bill's rush defense is a C on the stone. And then you got Sermon 5.9, Guerrero if Mason's out at 6K. I think it's the same player pool as it is on DraftKings. And Travis Duarte, the MMA show in the past 2 months, moved to Thursday night at 9 Eastern. So Big Marley and I recorded it. You can check it out right after this on this channel.
Interesting slate too. I was checking it out before the show. Got a $7,700 minus 400 favorite. 500,
probably even more now.
Yeah, it makes those slates interesting. I mean, only 11 fights, but I think that dynamic is definitely. Yeah, it makes it interesting. So
it's I mean, it's there's 5 guys that are getting all the ownership and nothing else. The main event, Robelos to Spain, Hadley guy, and this Elkin. It's clear as day where everything's going.
Yeah, can't wait to dig in. I'm gonna dig in this afternoon. Looking forward to it.
Chubb expected to play. Okay, and there's no Jerome Ford. That is interesting. You're not playing Chubb. It doesn't do anything for cash games, but that's just interesting.
Interesting moving forward. I mean, there's going to probably be a spot for Chubb here at some point. Not doing it this week. Yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, hit the like. Helps us out a lot. Like and subscribe. All our videos are free. We don't force you guys to come over to the premium side. We appreciate the YouTube community here. We've said that from day one. paying for content's obviously not for everyone, but if it is, we offer the most affordable. But if you're not going to be a member at SHIPIT Nation, we appreciate your support right here on this YouTube channel. So our shows will remain free. All we ask is little like and subscribe to keep the momentum going. Sorted by projected points here. I agree with you. We talked about it on DK. Like if you're deciding between Chase and Jefferson, give me Jefferson. I know our projections like Chase. For cash games, I'll definitely take Jefferson. Garrett Wilson is showing up at 74. I'm guessing we probably don't have Adams in yet. Yep, that is the case. So that number is going to be coming way down for Garrett Wilson. Got Neighbors. Jaden Reed, Tank Dell, that's a nice price tag for him. Deontay Johnson, I think very nice price tag for him. Drake London at 75, nice price tag for him. So in this range, I think 3 very viable options for cash. Dell, Johnson, London. Sort by value, see if we get anything else that stands out. Elijah Moore at 4,600. So man, like you rarely get guys under 5K that are playable. We have 4,600 for. Do you have? I know you look at the props, and maybe when I throw it to you, I'm going to look it up because I just want to see what the receiving prop is on Elijah Moore. Like, is it a decent number? Is he getting
28 and a half?
28 and a half. Okay, I was hoping for mid 30s. It could go up.
Oh my gosh!
I mean, so if they're trailing and they got to throw. Judy's 56.
Njoku's a solid 42 and a half. Judy's is 48 and a half. So I guess I might soften my stance a little bit on like
57. What was the price? It was like a $1,600 price.
48 to 32. So it's still probably the savings, but
yeah. But over here it's only 1,000. So the Judy's 56 and Elijah Moore is 46. Mooney at 63. Don't hate that. I got the Pickens 6K price tag. All the Jet stuff's all going to come down because we don't have Adams in there. It just came out that he's going to be in for, they said full workload too, for whatever that's worth. What is his price matter? Is it cheap? I haven't even looked.
6.9K. I don't think you're messing with that. Tate's right there at 7. Scary Terry 7.2. Deontay 7.1 if he plays. Take a wait and see approach on the pass.
He's forcing it to his ass at some point.
Yeah. But the thing is, I will say, because I've watched Rodgers forever, and like he had multiple guys with the Donald Driver, James Jones up, but when it was just Devontae, it was just all Devontae. Yeah. Garrett Wilson, I don't know who's better right now, and one of those guys I think is going to turn alpha. Like I don't know who it's going to be though. It's weird.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm excited to see.
Same. McLaurin at 72. I wanted to throw him in the mix too. I mean, it was kind of like a write-off the first couple weeks, but man, Jaden Daniels has been good. He's getting him the ball in an effective manner, and it's been 4 straight solid games for McLaurin. I mean, just talking FanDuel points, 21, 14.7, 14.4, and 20.3. Seeing consistency, really, really good matchup. I mean, really good matchup. So I don't hate him. I guess the one thing that definitely stands out to me is all these 7K guys. I think you could fill out your wide receiver spot with these 7K guys and probably feel pretty damn good about your team. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm with you. I don't it's a lot easier to get Jefferson, and it's not even easy on DraftKings, but it's easier to get Jefferson at 8.5 on DK than it is 9.4 on FanDuel. I just Diggs is 8.6. Compare that to DK's price. Neighbors all the way up at 8.3. And again, good for FanDuel. I don't want to play 75% Justin Jefferson because everyone else is going to play him too. So I do think you're right. Especially
makes it good for cash and tournaments because people are in tournaments are still going to play these 7K guys. So you're going to get lower ownership on Chase, on Jefferson. If you want to play Neighbors, if you want to play Diggs, there's no way they get substantial ownership either. So it's good on both sides.
Yeah, I mean, I love that. That $3 tournament, man, is not I was in top 15 for a while toward the end. That's a great payout structure. Ain't good, but when you can have a chance at 80K or 100K for $3, and then if you max at 450 and they pay out top 50%,
they're doing a good job. I mean, people shit on FanDuel a lot. I think they're actually doing a good job this NFL season, pricing, contests, all that sort of stuff.
And it seems like I saw someone put on Twitter the opening night for NBA that theirs is bigger than that. So hopefully they continue because we would love FanDuel. FanDuel used to be the OG for me back in the day.
Oh yeah.
I agree with you though on what you said about receiver. I think it is these 7K dudes. Like Drake London at 7.5, Terry at 7.2, Deontay 7.1. Sort by the value again, if you could.
Yep. There we go.
Love Tank Dell right there. The Garrett Wilson again. We're not going to Devontae. We don't have price since. You're not going to play Lazard, Wilson, Devontae. I like Pickens' price tag at 6K. Deontay at 7.1. If Deontay misses, someone mentioned the Jalen Coker stuff previously. Yeah, he'd be in play on both sites, but he is 4.2K on FanDuel, 65% of routes last week. I mean, that's 4K is as cheap as you can get on DK. So 4.2K, he'd be in play if Deontay's out. If Deontay's in, I really like Deontay's price tag. Mooney, you mentioned. Pickens, you mentioned. Jacoby Myers at 5.8 without Devontae Adams as well is good. For cash games, which is better, DK or FanDuel? Well, what are we on? Week 6, week 7? What are we on? Week 7.
7. Yeah.
I think I'm 1-5 on FanDuel and 5-1 on DK. But with all that being said, I still think FanDuel's better, and they usually have less trains because of the pricing. So it's pretty close. But also,
I mean, if you can play on both, I think you play on both if you can do it.
Yeah, you talked about it last week, like diversifying and playing both. But so much content is just DraftKings nowadays. Like I'm still putting up the 4 core plays on FanDuel too. We're doing this whole segment on FanDuel. So there's less groupthink, I would say, than on FanDuel than DK.
Agree with him. All right. Those 7K guys look good at wide receiver, I think, for cash games. I just don't see a route where you end up getting to a Justin Jefferson or anyone like that. I mean, there's just such a gap in, $2,000 in salary. I mean, it's pretty substantial. Maybe we get some value. Maybe we end up with the Garendo dude and you can make it work. But for now, I think you're kind of living in that 7K range. Tight end, I have it sorted by points here. Projected points, Bowers at 7K, Kelsey 7.1, Kittle 7,500. Like you're probably not paying any of those price tags. If you are, our projections like Bowers, sorting by projected value. So we talked about Njoku, even stronger play over here on FanDuel at 5,300. That is super cheap. My guy Dalton Schultz, 52, like 8 targets last week, 52. Sign me up. Calcaterra, 51. Ertz, 51. Pitts, 59. There's options here, and you're probably saving a little bit, and it looks like we're probably going to end up somewhere in the lower 5 range in terms of salary. So, any of these, I don't know, four guys stand out to you as being the guy? Any preference? What are your thoughts?
Definitely no preference right now. This is a spot where I think it's low 5Ks. Njoku 5.3, Schultz 5.2, Parkinson 5.2. Stand out right now. If you want to go Calcaterra 5.1, but like if I'm playing Calcaterra DK, I'm definitely going to be playing a Schultz and a Njoku.
Yeah, the natural hedge we talk about all the time, and I think it's in a situation like this, high volatility situation, like you said, if you are landing on Calcaterra on DK and you are playing on FanDuel as well, just go to Ertz at 5,100, or go to Schultz or go to Njoku. Perfect way to naturally hedge versus what you're doing on DK.
100%. Yeah. Like I think it's the Njoku, Schultz, Parkinson, Ertz, Calcaterra, all of them are 5.3 to 5.1. Like though I'm playing someone in that range almost. I love Brock Bowers. 7K when we're talking about like we have no value on the slate, you're paying up at running back. Receivers, we like some of those mid 7s. It's a position I think you have to save. And I think it's one of those 4 or 5, 5.3K to 5.1K. I'll be monitoring props and stuff. Schultz without Nico, Njoku without Amari, Parkinson. The Rams are still really beat up. Great matchup against the Raiders. Ertz has been a good target. For Daniels in a really high total. Calcaterra with no Goddard. Like, I don't know, man. Do you have any leans on this? Does anyone in the chat have any strong leans? I don't.
Seems like an absolute toss-up. I did want to say Neighbors said he's playing. I mean, I don't think it really affects cash game. If he were to sit, then maybe, Wandale or other dude. But, Slayton, not super important. For me, I mean, I would probably just get exposure to that high team total and go Ertz. Like, I mean, the Commanders are projected to score – what is
right there, 29.75, right on the stone.
Yeah, so that's a big boy number. I'd probably just lean that direction, but I mean, there's no strong preference for me at this point.
100% with you.
Yeah.
And then defenses, I don't think there's
Yeah, we really didn't talk about it.
strong preference on either side. I mean, man, the thing is, you got to get defense freaking right, though. Last week, Buccaneers, chalk came through. The week before, I think it was Falcons. These chalk defenses are hitting.
Falcons at home favored 3,400. Like, that's probably seems decent.
You probably want to get out cheap. Like, we keep talking about lack of value. When that's the case at the most high volatility, high variance position, you probably get out cheap. But again, some defenses are going to do something, and then most of them I play get me negative. So I don't know.
Yeah, it's been tough, man. Defense, and like the popular ones have gone off, like you said. So just going through, I mean, I would start I'd plug in the Falcons and then see if I can find a little bit of an upgrade, but I'm just not even really seeing an upgrade anywhere. It's gross. Let's see on DK real quick before we get out of here. Sort by value, Bengals, Falcons, Seahawks. So
there's no plug and play on defense at the end of the day.
There's nothing, man. Ooh, it's gross. Yeah, defense is going to be tough this week to find something. Probably just go roll the dice and go as cheap as possible because it looks nasty. Seahawks, nothing. All right, any final thoughts?
I think it's pretty similar in the facts of our QB pool was Daniels or somewhere kind of savings / mid-tier-ish with those high total games. The running backs, as of now, it's not really savings. Maybe if Mason was out. FanDuel, the Sermon Garendo, but the Kyrans, the Pollards of the world, Jones look pretty strong. Receiver, again, I don't think you're going all the way up, especially FanDuel. If I did on DK, it's Jefferson. Otherwise, we listed those like 7-8 guys, the Jujus of the world. If you want to go Cleveland stuff, the Atlanta 3 receivers look pretty fairly priced. Tight end, I mean, I think it's the same pool. We pretty much talked on both sides. You want to pretty much save money. If no value opens up, I do think 2 tight ends on DK is viable, but usually some value opens up when we get to Sunday. Like if Deontay's out, it changes everything, stuff like that. And we always have our Sunday show. We talk GPPs, cash. We just talk the whole slate. So, no, it's pretty similar and pretty fun.
Yeah, so if you are tuning in, make sure come back, same place, 9:45 Eastern, Sunday morning. Myself, Title, Tambo, break down the entire slate. Like you said, we'll talk GPPs, we'll talk cash games, we'll talk injuries, roster construction. It's a good fun time. So make sure to set your notifications, and when we go live, you can hop in and join us Sunday morning. But that is going to do it here for the Week 7 Cash Game Show. We'll be back next week. Same place, same time. Good luck in your contest. Let's get those Ship It Nation logos to the top of the leaderboard.